Welcome to the State of the Art podcast. I want to welcome Racheal Baier, author, publisher, and storyteller of faith. This is a space where broken stories bloom again, where pain meets purpose, and where the brushstrokes of grace reveal the beauty only God can create. Each episode will journey through faith, healing, and the art of becoming, because every testimony, every scar, and every seed of faith is part of a greater masterpiece painted by His hand. So take a deep breath, open your heart, and step with me into the divine artistry of a life redeemed. Racheal, I'm truly honored to sit with you today. Your book, The Rose of Sharon, A Seed of Faith, has such a striking title. For people hearing about it for the first time, how would you describe what it's really about?
Thanks so much for having me. At its core, The Rose of Sharon is my journey, how God met me in the messiest parts of my life. I went through cancer, heartbreak, and losing faith, and this book is my way of sharing how grace and a tiny bit of hope helped me rebuild. My story isn't polished, but it's honest. I hope it encourages anyone who's ever wondered if broken things can bloom again.
That image of blooming from brokenness really sticks with me. And your book feels like an invitation for people to see themselves in that process too.
Absolutely. It's for anyone who's felt like giving up, just to show them that even the smallest seed of faith can turn into something beautiful if you let God have it.
Last segment, you mentioned hope blooming in difficult places. I'd love to know more about the title, The Rose of Sharon. Was there a story or moment that really brought that symbol to life for you?
Funny you ask, because the title actually came from a dream during one of my darkest nights on chemo. I was so weak and felt completely emptied out, and in that dream, I saw this vivid, beautiful red rose just pushing through cracked desert sand.
That's such a powerful image, life and beauty where it doesn't belong. Did that dream change how you understood your own struggle?
Completely. That rose reminded me of the Song of Solomon, where the Rose of Sharon represents Christ's beauty, even in barren places. It became a promise for me that no matter how lifeless my life looked, God's presence could still make something beautiful appear out of nowhere.
What you went through physically was intense, but I heard you also had a near-death experience while in treatment. Would you be open to sharing what happened and how it changed you?
It's something I never expected. There was a night when my heart actually stopped. I remember this surreal peace, seeing 3 angels and familiar faces through what looked like a portal. Then I felt myself drift upward, 2 hands reaching for mine. I just knew it was Jesus. I heard, "You shall live and declare the works of the Lord."
That's honestly incredible. Waking up after something like that, did it make you see your own life differently?
Everything shifted. The cancer was suddenly gone, but even more, the fear left me. My question changed from, "Why is this happening?" to, "What can I learn from this?" That moment became the heartbeat of my book. God can even use a brush with death to bring new life.
Hearing you talk about transformation, I can't help but think about the other tough parts you've written about, like divorce and forgiveness. Those aren't easy topics to share publicly. How did your faith help you move through that pain?
I won't sugarcoat it. My divorce was agonizing, my former husband carried a lot of trauma, and our relationship just broke under the weight of all of it. I was left in pieces, honestly. But through prayer, God showed me that forgiveness wasn't about saying what happened was okay. It was about unclenching my own fists, letting go of what was holding me hostage.
That's such a tough truth, but it gives hope. Did embracing forgiveness change the way you saw yourself?
It really did. I learned that there is power in forgiveness. Redemption doesn't always look like a restored relationship. Sometimes it's just a restored heart. I want people to know that freedom often starts when we're brave enough to forgive, even if nothing else gets fixed.
You know, listening to your journey, I keep thinking about the act of writing itself. Did putting these stories on paper help you heal, or was it more painful at first?
Honestly, it was both. Some chapters were like ripping open old wounds, but each time I wrote, it felt like God was gently putting me back together. I realized He doesn't ask us to be perfect just to show up with our real selves. When I brought Him my rawest pain, He turned it into something meaningful.
That actually reminds me, one of my favorite lines from your book was about faith not removing the storm, but giving you roots. Has your faith kept evolving since finishing the book?
Oh, absolutely. Writing was just the beginning. I still face storms, but now I know I can stand through them. My roots just keep getting deeper. The Lord sees the root and the fruit.
For listeners moved by your story and wanting to read more, where can they find The Rose of Sharon and stay connected to your work?
They can grab The Rose of Sharon, A Seed of Faith, on Amazon, Apple Books, Kobo, or directly from my website at www.books. By under my publishing name, State of the Art. I'm also sharing devotionals and creative faith-based books there. Everything I write now starts from that same place, believing that art and faith together really can heal hearts.
I love how your journey keeps rippling out, Racheal. Thank you for sharing your heart and reminding us all that beauty can bloom anywhere, even in the driest places.
Thank you for having me. I hope everyone listening remembers, no matter how heavy the brushstrokes feel, the masterpiece God is painting with your life is still unfolding.